Some analysis on the story now. We're joined by legal analyst Melusi Xulu via Zoom in Durban. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Very interesting developments indeed around this particular case. And many are wondering if she was indeed arrested unlawfully, as she says she was, and that she was abducted. How can that be the case?
Good afternoon to you, Rifu, and viewers at home. The first question that we have to ask is, who arrested her in Tanzania? Well, the answer to that is simple. She was arrested for being in Tanzania illegally. And based on Section 14 of the Immigration Act is that if you are there illegally in the country, you can be deported. Then she was deported. And she was back in South Africa, and there was a warrant of arrest, and she was arrested and brought back to court.
So the fact that her legal team has now put this forward as an argument that they're going to be making, what would some of the merits of their argument be here? Because as you've just described, she was in Tanzania illegally, and therefore it would be warranted that she be arrested and deported. So what would be included in the argument made by her legal team?
Okay, I wish I could have had time to read the papers. Maybe I would have been in a better position, but based on the orders that they are seeking, that she was abducted from Tanzania, they would bring a case to court to say when she was arrested by the Tanzanian officials, that was not a proper arrest. And then they must also challenge the warrant of arrest, because the warrant of arrest has three things. Firstly, it must set out the offense. And then secondly, the magistrate who's issuing it must have a jurisdiction, which is in Free State Bloemfontein in this case. And then thirdly, the person who's alleged to have committed the crime must be the person that the warrant is being sought for. So are they challenging the Tanzanian immigration laws? Are they challenging the warrant of arrest? For them to have a strong case, those are one of the things they will have to challenge, because as it stands, the alleged offense that's it's alleged that she had committed is still a strong case, and that is based on Section 115 of the Correctional Services Act, that she assisted Mr. Biesta to escape. She hid Mr. Biesta from the officials for more than a year, and thirdly, she escaped with him to a foreign country where she was arrested at the end.
Is there a likelihood that this application would be granted?
Based on the information that I have and based on my understanding, I don't think it will be granted. I honestly think that whatever they are trying to canvass, they should do it in bail courts and try to get bail, which is a challenge on itself because she's a flight risk, and possibly we'll discuss how to what magnitude she's a flight risk, but it's for obvious reasons. So I don't see it succeeding, but let's see what will happen on the day, because there may be information that obviously we have not seen, we have not read. There may be technicalities, but based on the information they have, it doesn't look likely to succeed.
Okay. I mean, you say that there could be information that we're not privy to and would obviously hear this in court when the case is presented to the judge. If she does succeed in this particular application, is there an opportunity for her to get re-arrested on the same charges again?
Of course, I mean, the charges still stand. And we know that as long as the charges stand, she will have to be arrested, and then she will obviously be back again, and then the case will have to continue, because remember, she has not challenged the offense itself. She's just challenged the procedures and how she was arrested. So the charges will still stand, and the only way she can fight the charges is if she goes to trial, and that's the whole purpose of starting with the bail, and then the investigation will be done, then the trial will be done.
And then just finally, maybe let's talk a little bit more about this bail that she might be looking to get. You did say that she was a flight risk and she fled to Tanzania illegally with Thabo Bester. And it has been reported that she's got multiple passports. So when applying for bail, which she's likely to do, what would her legal team put forward as an argument to convince the judge that she won't disappear like she did before?
Okay, if you're applying for bail, and you have to prove that you have flight risk. You must prove that, you within the society that you live in, you are employed and you are based in that society. And if there's any proof that you have tried to escape before, that will not work in your favor. It will show that you're a person that cannot be trusted, especially if, as alleged in this case, I must say, if it's alleged that you've assisted someone to escape, it means you have the mentality to always seek a way to have or to do an offense of obstruction of justice. So I think she's going to have a huge challenge, but maybe let's see if she's going to succeed on the application that is making. And then when it comes to pay, we'll properly analyze everything that she will put on the table. But it looks like for her, if you compare her to the other applicants, she has a bigger case to answer than the rest, because she looks like she was the brains behind the escape and being a flight risk and so forth. So it's going to be a huge task. Maybe that is why I would assume that the defense is trying to look at other avenues than trying to apply for bail, because the bail is a high step to climb, to be honest.
That's very interesting, looking for other avenues to get her out of prison as opposed to just applying for bail as it is. Thank you very much for that update. That is a legal analyst, Melusi Xulu, giving us some insight into the chances that Dr. Nandipha Magudumana has in her application that says her arrest was unlawful and wrong and needs to be declared null.